Hi, my name is Dan Dybowski, and I'm here to show you how to budget in Excel. Okay, this is your basic spreadsheet format. First, you want to recognize that the lettered columns are the columns, and the numbers on the left side go from left to right. Those are rows. And notice here at the bottom, this is sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Those are worksheets. We're currently working in the sheet 1. So to set up a budget, you just want to match up your, just basically organize your expenses versus your income. So what I would do in this first row is put in expenses. In the second column, I'm going to put first third of the month. The column C, I'll put second third of the month. In column D, I'll put third of the month. That's how I like to organize my months, because I get paid bi-weekly, which is every 2 weeks. So there is a lag period of maybe 5 or 6 days oftentimes in the first part of the month that I consider in the first third, and we'll see that. So I have mortgage, and that happens during the first third. It's about $800. So let's see, utilities. And again, we're going to put all of our needs first. Don't even worry about the wants. We'll see if we could afford wants later. But right now we're going to just try to see if we can live within our means just by looking at our needs versus our income. So utilities is around $250 altogether. Let's see, gasoline for vehicle. I usually do that on payday, and that's somewhere around $40 every 2 weeks. I live pretty close nearby on my work. What else? I could put money towards student loans, so I'll put student loans, and I'll double click that to widen that. So there's a payment of about $300 because I'm on the income-based repayment program, and $90 that takes place. What else? How about tithing at church? It's important. Let's just put $25. 25. So another thing is too, you can highlight all these columns just by simply left clicking and dragging over. Right clicking anywhere within that, formatting the cells to currency. Okay. And that just changed all the numeric values to dollar signs now. Didn't affect the text. Excel recognizes that it doesn't really need to change the text to dollars. So let's move forward. I'm going to leave these cells open because if I want to insert any other sorts of miscellaneous expenses later, like emergencies, we'll do that later. But right now I'm going to put total expenses here. Below that I'll put income. And here I'm going to have carryover amount. And again, I'll double click that. So total expenses is simply equals sum, begin parentheses. Highlight all of those cells, left clicking and dragging. And again, I'm incorporating these blank ones because who knows, maybe I'll have to put something in there later, and I want it to fit into this function. So after I do that, left clicking and holding, I no longer am left clicking, I can freely move the cursor about. I'll just simply hit enter. And that adds up everything. And again, you can double check the values too by looking down at the bottom of your spreadsheet. Right here. And that says $13.75. and so does that cell, so the function worked properly. Now, I'm going to put what my income is. Actually, this is the amount of money that I have in my bank account right now. So I'll just put 1,500. And the carryover amount, misspelled that. The carryover amount will be the total amount of expenses from this third of the month deducted from whatever I have in the bank account. So I'll just put another function equals sum, begin parentheses, highlight my income, and then I'll hit the subtract symbol and then hit the total expenses that's left clicking. Then I'll hit enter, and there it is. So now for this third of the month, the second third of the month is when I'll actually get paid my normal $1,000 every 2 weeks. So now I'll do another function equals sum, begin parentheses. I'm going to highlight cell B21 because I'm going to put in a value there in a minute. And then I'll hit plus, and then that carryover amount. Enter. Now I said B21 is what the active cell is, so I'll put $1,000. And there, this cell reacted. Anyways, this cell B21 will always, from this point on, be a reference point for the amount of money that I make on salary every 2 weeks. So now I'll go through this process again in each of the other columns. Now, there's an easy way to do this, and that is simply highlighting the function in cell B13. Going down to the bottom right corner, your cursor will turn into a plus. Left click and drag those over, and now those have the same functions for what's above them in those columns. And now I could do the same sort of thing I did before, just simply deduct it, and that's equals sum, begin parentheses, hit the income, subtract symbol, total expenses for that third of the month, enter. Again, on the third of the month, which will be another payday, I'll hit equals sum, begin parentheses, hit the $1,000 plus symbol, that carryover amount, enter. And now for this final carryover amount, which is going to carry over into the next month, into the next leg period for the beginning of next month, I'm going to hit equals sum, begin parentheses, cell D14, which is my income, minus the expenses in that column. Hit enter. And right there you can highlight that red. That usually helps. And that's the amount that I'll have carry over into the next month. Now a quick way to replicate this process into other worksheets below is to just simply go above the 1 into this box, left click, and you'll highlight everything. Hit Control C. That copies everything in this spreadsheet. Go down to sheet 2, into that worksheet, and just hit Control V. That empties everything that was in that prior worksheet into here. The only thing now is I'm going to go into this link here, income, in cell B14, and change this value. Equals sum, begin parentheses, go back down into sheet 2, highlight cell D15, because that's the carryover amount, then hit enter. And then you'll see right away that everything else in this sheet reacts accordingly. That's what we want. Do this process again. Highlight, Control C, go down into sheet 3, Control V. I'll do this process again. However, I'm going to have to change this. I just usually go all the way back to the beginning parentheses. Now I'll go back down into sheet 2, highlight cell D15, hit enter. What's nice about this is that this is anticipating future expenses. This is just a budget. So, but what you do want to see continually is the fact that this bottom right cell, D15, and these sheets are representative of over time. You do want to see that number increase. If that number is increasing, then that means you're saving money. You are living within your means. Now, of course, I don't have all my expenses here, but this is just a quick and dirty of how to do this. You can rename these sheets by right-clicking on them, hitting left-clicking rename, putting something like January space 2014, enter. And then I'll do that for these other sheets below. Rename February 2014, enter. Sheet 3, rename March 2014, enter. Now it's nice that I was able to do that first and then rename all these tabs down below, because it looks like these cells have reacted and actually recognized that I was renaming them, and it already inserted the function. It doesn't say sheet 1 anymore for this function. So the fact that I changed these worksheet names afterwards means that these interlinking cells between worksheets reacted afterwards. So that's good to know. And you literally map out several years in advance all these worksheets. You can put an infinite amount of worksheets in there, as far as I think Excel will hold them, and map out your entire budget in Excel. And that's it. You can also download free Excel spreadsheets that I have on academia.edu. I have a budget in Excel. I also have an electronic ebook available on Amazon Kindle. It will be coming out. It's Bye Bye Debt, BIE-BIE Debt, how to budget in Excel. And the BIE simply stands for BIE is budget in Excel. That's an acronym. So, or you can email me for any questions about how to do this and live by it. CAESAR_BC@yahoo.com. Thanks for your time.